Chapter 2934 Small Victory. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronim. On the fighting ring, Emoji and the invincible sword were already engaged in a fierce battle. Emoji's combat strength was similar to that of Boundless Sword Dao. In fact, in terms of offensive power, he was even weaker than Boundless Sword Dao. However, Emoji's methods were more bizarre, allowing him to last longer. However, he was still no match for the Sword of Extinction. Under the sword shadow of the Sword of Extinction, he used all kinds of strange means to hold on for a moment longer than the Boundless Sword Dao, but he was still seriously injured and was struck off the fighting ring. Good, ha! The Absolute Sword is indeed a peerless genius. His combat strength is indeed powerful. In the 9 Absolute Heavenly King manner, some young men laughed and looked at the people from the Qin Tian Starfield with mocking expressions. On the side of the Qin Heaven Starfield, it was completely silent. There were countless people around the square, but no one spoke. The atmosphere was extremely oppressive. The opponent was a 6th-level heavenly deity at the Divine Sun level. He had defeated 2 of their peers, Emoji and Sword Dao Wuji, in a row. This had dealt a heavy blow to the people of the Qin Heaven Star region. Up until now, the other party still had 6 people, while the Qin Heaven Starfield had 7 people left. In everyone's eyes, among the remaining 7 people, only the Red Flame Demon Pine and Ice Fairy had the real strength to fight with the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion's Heaven's Pride. As for the others, they probably wouldn't be able to withstand a single move from a Heaven's favorite like the Sword of Fatality. On the other hand, there were still 6 people on the other side. Each of them looked unfathomable, and it was unknown how strong they were. How was he going to fight this battle? Don't tell me we've lost for sure? Only 10 years left? Many people were in despair. More people could only remain silent and hope for a miracle. Who's up, you two? After defeating 2 people in a row, the Sword of Fatality was full of fighting spirit. His eyes were fixed on the Red Flame Demon Pine and Ice Immortal. As for the others, he didn't care about them. The Red Flame Magic Pine and Ice Fairy looked at each other. They saw that Lu Ming had no intention of going on stage, so they could only go first. "I'll do it." The Red Flame Magic Pine roared and rushed up the fighting ring. "You've used up a lot of Shin power. I didn't want to take advantage of you, but this competition is a tag team battle, so don't say that I won without honor," Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine said in a deep voice. As he spoke, he took a few steps towards the invincible sword. With each step, his aura grew stronger. Boom! Blazing flames burst out of his body. Chapter 2934 Void Severing Hand. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronim. I've lost. The Absolute Sword left these words coldly. His figure flashed and he returned to the crowd of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. He sat cross-legged and began to heal. However, no one dared to underestimate the Sword of Fatality. In the beginning, the Sword of Fatality had defeated Sword Dao Wuji and Emoji in a row and had consumed a large amount of divine power. After that, it had actually fought with the 7th-level celestial deity Red Flame Demon Pine and caused both of them to be injured. This level of combat power was truly terrifying. If the Sword of Fatality was at its peak, it might not have lost to the Red Flame Demonic Pine. With that, there were still 5 people left in the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. The Qin Heaven Star region still had 7 people. Although they still had the advantage in numbers, the people from the Qin Heaven Starfield were not confident at all. The Red Flame Magic Pine didn't say anything. He was seizing the opportunity to heal his injuries and recover some strength. You've cultivated the ancient god body at the 7th-level celestial deity realm. Your strength is considered not bad among the 7th-level celestial deities. In the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion, the golden-robed young man spoke again. As he spoke, he slowly walked out and landed on the fighting ring. Jin Xing is about to make his move. Jin Xing finally can't hold it in anymore. That's good. With his help, this battle will end. I won't have to do anything. Well, just watch the show. The remaining few youths from the 9 absolute Heavenly King mansion laughed out loud. Their expressions were relaxed and they looked like they would definitely win. The red flame demon pine looked at the golden-robed young man with a serious look. From the start, the golden-robed young man had been speaking on behalf of the 9 absolute Heavenly King mansion. It could be seen that this person's talent must be very shocking. You want to seize the time to recover, right? I'll give you a chance. Jin Xing said indifferently. He stood there without moving, letting the red flame demon pine recover. He looked very confident. Seeing this, the red flame demonic pine naturally did not hold back. It took out a few divine pills for healing and recovering divine power, swallowed them in one go, and used its divine technique to recover with all its might. The wound on his chest was wriggling at a speed visible to the naked eye, and it was recovering quickly. After half an hour, the wound on Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine's chest had completely disappeared. His condition had also returned to its peak. Come, let's fight. Although you gave me time to recover, I won't show any mercy. The red flame demonic pine stared at Jin Xing, its battle intent strong. However, Jin Xing shook his head and said, "You alone are not my match. You attack together." Jin Xing's last sentence was directed at the Ice Immortal. What? This person wanted to challenge both the red flame demon pine and the ice fairy at the same time? Could it be that his cultivation has already reached the 8th level heavenly deity realm? Someone was shocked. No, this old man has observed him. This person's cultivation is at the 6th level of the celestial deity realm. In the Qin Heaven Star region, a white-haired god king spoke. What? He's only a 6th level celestial deity and he's already so confident that he wants to challenge the Ice Immortal and the red flame demon pine at the same time? Where does he get his confidence from? That's right. The Sword of Fatality is strong enough, but at his peak, he's at most on par with the red flame magic pine. In the Qin Heaven Star region, many people were shouting in disbelief. A 6th level celestial deity actually challenged the Scarlet Flame Demonic Pine and Ice Immortal at the same time. The Ice Immortal had always been as famous as the Red Flame Demonic Pine. The two had fought many times in the past, but it was difficult to determine a winner. The Red Flame Demonic Pine had broken through to the 7th level celestial deity realm, so the Ice Immortal must be in the same situation. Moreover, they were all divine sons and peerless geniuses. Where did Jin Xing's confidence come from? You really want to challenge the two of us? This is not in line with the rules. At that time, if we win, Ice Deity said. If you can win, it'll be your win. Before Ice Immortal could speak, Jin Xing said indifferently. All right. Ice Immortal agreed immediately. Since the other party was so confident, there was no reason for him to refuse. Taking a step forward, Ice Fairy also appeared on the fighting ring, standing side by side with Red Flame Demonic Pine, and a terrible chill emanated from her body. Ice Immortal and Red Flame Magic Pine, one cold and one hot, one cold and one hot, formed a terrible wave and rushed towards Jin Xing bang. Jin Xing took a step forward, and his aura bloomed. 6th level celestial deity, his cultivation was indeed only at the 6th level celestial deity. The golden divine power covered his whole body and destroyed the breath of Ice Immortal and Red Flame Demon Pine. Ice Immortal, you go left, I'll go right. Red Flame Demonic Pine sent a message to Ice Immortal, and then rushed to the right of Jin Xing. At the same time, Ice Immortal rushed to Jin Xing's left side. As she rushed out, her body quickly grew and turned into an ancient god body. The moment she attacked, everyone knew Ice Immortal's cultivation. She was indeed a 7th level celestial deity. Falling Star. Rapid Ice Sword. Both the Red Flame Magic Pine and Ice Immortal launched their ultimate moves at the same time and charged towards Jin Xing. Since Jin Xing was so confident, he definitely had terrifying strength. They'll give you a chance to fight. Please continue reading on Oxful. Omicronym. On the other side, when Jin Xing was attacking the Red Flame Demonic Pine, Ice Immortal also launched an attack on Jin Xing. However, Jin Xing waved his hand and a golden sword flew out, blocking the attack of Ice Immortal. No matter how hard Ice Immortal attacked, the golden sword could always block him. Jin Xing was attacking the red flame demon pine with all his strength. The golden palm print pressed down, and the red flame demonic pine retreated. Jin Xing's strength was truly astonishing. They were both 6th-level celestial deities, but he was stronger than the absolute sword. No wonder he dared to challenge the scarlet flame demonic pine and the ice immortal at the same time. The red flame demon pine roared and exerted its strength to the extreme, but it was still no match for Jin Xing Buzz. Jin Xing's figure rapidly approached the red flame demonic pine, and his golden palm once again chopped down. The terrifying power made the pupils of the red flame magic pine contract sharply. He roared in anger and threw 2 punches forward with lava wrapped around his fists. However, the moment his fist collided with Jin Xing's palm, his fist exploded. The red flame demon pine screamed and retreated. "Get down!" Jin Xing was like a golden stream of light. He approached quickly and hit the chest of the red flame demonic pine with his palm. The red flame magic pine screamed again. The defense of the ancient god body couldn't resist Jin Xing's attack at all. A big hole was blown out of its chest, and it was sent flying out of the fighting ring. When he flew out of the fighting ring, the red flame magic pine's body had returned to its normal size. It fell heavily out of the fighting ring and coughed up blood. Everyone saw that there was a big hole in the chest of the red flame magic pine. The flesh and blood had disappeared, and it was a terrible sight. The red flame demon pine quickly took out a healing elixir and took it to heal its injuries. In this way, only Ice Fairy was left on the fighting ring. Buzz. After defeating the red flame demon pine, Jin Xing turned around and attacked the Ice Immortal. Ice Immortal's expression changed and she retreated, not daring to confront Jin Xing. 10,000 miles of ice. Ice Immortal waved her palms several times in a row, turning the fighting ring into a frozen world. He planned to use the swimming method to fight with Jin Xing, and then look for an opportunity to see if he could win. "You want to use this method to fight me? You're really stupid." Void-severing palm imprint. Jin Xing shouted, and his body was filled with brilliant golden divine light. In the sky, a golden palm print was formed. It was extremely huge, covering the entire fighting ring and pressing down. In this way, no matter what, Ice Immortal would be covered by the palm print. No matter what, he had to fight with the other party. Ice Immortal had no choice but to use all her strength to block the palm print. Facing Jin Xing alone, he was even less of a match. In the end, his result was the same as the red flame demonic pine. He was sent flying out of the battle stage and was seriously injured. Jin Xing defeated the Ice Immortal and the red flame demon pine. In the Qin Heaven Star region, many people's faces were pale. He was defeated. The Qin Heaven Starfield had been defeated. Ice Fairy, Red Flame Demonic Pine, Sword Dao Wuji, Emojui, and Gray Flame Army Breaker, the 5 great deity-level characters, had been defeated one after another. There was no longer any suspense in this battle. It seemed like he could not buy any more time. Sigh, there's only 10 years left? If we can't find the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor's treasure in 10 years, when the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor's army arrives, all the forces in the Qin Heaven Starfield will be annihilated. Who on earth stole the treasures of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion? Many people roared in their hearts. In their eyes, this competition had ended with the defeat of Ice Immortal and Red Flame Demon Pine. Although there are a few geniuses in the Qin Heaven Starfield, they can't even withstand a single blow. Therefore, you only have 10 years. After 10 years, if you can't hand over the treasures, you can just wait to be destroyed. Jin Xing coldly said, "The competition isn't over yet. It's still too early for you to make a conclusion." At this moment, a voice was heard. The person who spoke was naturally Lu Ming. Many people's gazes turned to Lu Ming. Don't tell me he still wants to go up and compete? Although we still have 5 people left, Ice Immortal and Red Flame Demon Pine have both been defeated. What's the use of the remaining 5 people? The defeat is set. Many people shook their heads and sighed. Young man, forget it. Let's admit defeat for this match. Why bring disgrace upon ourselves? One of the elders advised Lu Ming. He had good intentions. There was no rule against killing in this competition. If the difference in strength was too great, it would be a great injustice if he was killed by a palm strike. I didn't, but am not willing to accept it. Lu Ming smiled and stepped forward towards the fighting ring. He landed on the fighting ring and stood opposite Jin Xing. You want to fight me? Jin Xing was also stunned. His eyes flashed with golden light and he could see Lu Ming's cultivation clearly. Third-level celestial deity. A third-level celestial deity actually wanted to exchange blows with him. It was truly a gargantuan joke. Seventh-level celestial deity geniuses like Ice Immortal and Scarlet Flame Demon Pine were not his match. What use could a third-level celestial deity have? Even if the divine power he controlled was divine-grade divine power, he could kill it with one finger. 10 years is too short. We won't be able to find the treasure you want. So, we can only take a risk and fight for 1,000 years. Lu Ming smiled. However, you might have to pay with your life for this. Jin Xing said. Of course I know, but I'm afraid you're still not strong enough to take my life. Lu Ming smiled faintly, looking very confident. This made many people in the Qin Heavens starfield curl their lips. Lu Ming was too confident. With Jin Xing's terrifying strength, he was still a little short of taking his life. I'm afraid that one move would be enough to crush him into pieces. This kid waited until now and he actually wants to fight with Jin Xing. He really doesn't know what's good for him. Qin Huio mocked from the 9 absolute Heavenly King Mansion side. He initially thought that Lu Ming was hiding and would not dare to attack. He did not expect that he would come out to attack now. In his opinion, it was not that he was cowardly but that he was stupid. Lu Ming, Ouyang Xiangxiang, Yu Linglong, and the others clenched their fists tightly. Although they knew that Lu Ming was very powerful, the strength that Jin Xing had just displayed was too terrifying. Could Lu Ming really fight Jin Xing? In their hearts, they were not confident. Young Master will definitely win. Only Qiu Yu had full confidence in Lu Ming. She had seen Lu Ming's rise. Along the way, Lu Ming had created too many miracles. She always believed that Lu Ming would not lose. Is that so? You're very confident. I hope you have the right to be confident. Jin Xing sneered. His body emitted a golden light as he prepared to attack. Wait a moment, stop. At this moment, Lu Ming shouted. Jin Xing was about to take a step forward, but he stopped in his tracks and almost could not catch his breath. What is this kid trying to do? Many people looked at each other. What are you doing? Jin Xing gritted his teeth and asked. I don't want to fight with you now. What's that thing called again? By the way, Qin Huio, that Qin Huio, didn't you want to fight with me? Come, I'll give you a chance to fight. Lu Ming's gaze turned to Qin Huio. Chapter 2936, A Life for a Life. Please continue reading on Oxful. Omicronym. What? He wants to challenge Qin Huio? Many people were stunned. They could not figure out Lu Ming's tricks at all. Even Qin Huio himself was dumbfounded. He had already been defeated previously. He never expected that Lu Ming would challenge him now. Are you sure you want to challenge Qin Huio first? Qin Huio was already defeated before. If you really want to challenge him, don't say that we broke the rules. Jin Xing said. Don't worry, it won't take much effort to deal with him. Lu Ming said loudly. Many people were disdainful. This braggart really didn't need a draft. Qin Huio was also a divine son. His combat strength was similar to that of Tsangyan Pejuan. Lu Ming actually said that it would not take much effort to deal with him? Who did he think he was? Jin Xing? What is Lu Ming doing? Emoji, Sword Dao Wuji, and the others were also puzzled, not knowing what Lu Ming was up to. Emoji had fought with Lu Ming 200 years ago and knew his strength. Lu Ming was only slightly stronger than him. It was possible for him to defeat Qin Huio, but they didn't believe that it would take him much effort. I accept this battle. At this moment, Qin Huio shouted. In a flash he appeared on the fighting ring. All he wanted was to kill Lu Ming. Now that Lu Ming was courting death, how could he miss it? All right, I'll leave him to you. Jin Xing nodded and retreated to the side. In his opinion, Lu Ming was only a third-level celestial deity, and Qin Huio was more than enough. You should have recovered by now. I'll let you make the first move. You won't have the chance to make a move in the future, Lu Ming said loudly. However, in the eyes of others, he was just acting cool. Since you're in a hurry to die, I'll fulfill your wish. 7 Injury Divine Fist, kill. Qin Huio made his move, and his first move was the 7 Wounded Divine Fist. In fact, he did not dare to underestimate Lu Ming too much. After all, Qin Wushang and the others had been ruthlessly abused by Lu Ming in the Kongxian sect. One must know that Qin Wushang and the others were not weak. Therefore, Qin Huio used his ultimate move right from the start, trying to kill Lu Ming. Boom. Lu Ming made his move as well. However, he did not activate the battle character to multiply his combat strength or transform into an ancient god body. 10 divine flames burned in his body, and his divine power surged. Ice chains. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat and 9 ice chains rushed out of his body. Whoosh, whoosh. The 9 ice chains were like 9 long snakes as they charged toward Qin Huio. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, the power of the ice chain was shocking. In particular, there was a special icy liquid in the 9th chain. As Lu Ming's cultivation level increased, the power of the liquid could be more and more activated. Wherever the 9 ice chains passed, the temperature in the air dropped sharply, and ice crystals appeared. Break! Qin Huio shouted and tried to break the ice chains. However, when his fist force collided with the ice chains, his expression changed drastically. He felt an extremely cold intent spreading towards him, and he felt as if all the blood in his body was going to freeze. He roared and used his own strength to injure himself to increase the power of the 7 Injury Divine Fist. Boom. After self-mutilating, the power of the 7 Divine Injures Fist had indeed increased by a level. The fist radiance brightened, and 8 of the 9 ice chains shook violently before collapsing. However, the 9th ice chain was extremely hard. It broke through the fist force and wrapped around Qin Huio. At the same time, the extreme cold of the 9th ice chain gushed out madly and sealed Qin Huio in ice. His body froze in midair. Bang! Lu Ming controlled the ice chain and swung it up, smashing it heavily on the fighting ring. The fighting ring shook violently. Qin Huio screamed in pain as dozens of bones in his body were broken. He spat out a large mouthful of blood like a dead fish. The entire place was deathly silent as they looked at this scene, dumbfounded. Many people thought that they were dreaming, or that their eyes were playing tricks on them. A divine sun character, a genius who had fought with the Ashen Flames breaking army and suffered heavy losses, was defeated by Lu Ming in one move. This was simply like reading a novel. Bang! Just as everyone was in a daze, Lu Ming picked Qin Huio up again and smashed him heavily on the fighting ring. Qin Huio let out a shrill cry. This time, his injuries were even more serious. Like a pool of mud, his eyes rolled back and he spat out a large mouthful of blood. The crowd finally woke up, and then, there was a clamor. He won. Lu Ming actually won. So powerful. Qin Wushang's strength is not weaker than the Ashen Flames army destroyer, but he was defeated in one move. This is too exaggerated. I didn't expect the Kongxian sect to have such a powerful prodigy. I've never heard of him before. The people of the Qin Heaven Starfield, other than being surprised, were also excited. They were already in despair, but at this moment, they couldn't help but have a little hope. Of course, it was only a little. After all, Jin Xing was too strong. Among them, the most shocked were Mo Jui, Sword Dao Wuji, and Sungyan Pejuan. 200 years ago, Mo Jui had fought with Lu Ming. Back then, Lu Ming's combat strength was only slightly stronger than Mo Jui's. He was on the same level as them. But now, Qin Huio, who had suffered great losses along with Grey Flame Army Breaker, was defeated by Lu Ming in one move. Did this not mean that Lu Ming's ability was far above theirs? 3rd level Heavenly Deity, his cultivation has broken through to the 3rd level Heavenly Deity. How is this possible? How could he have broken through 2 levels in a short 200 years? Mo Jui roared in his heart. 200 years ago, he was well aware that Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the 1st-tier Celestial Deity realm. It would take a long time for a Sky Celestial to break through to the next level. Even if they were peerless geniuses, they would still need a long time. 200 years was too short. Unless he had a great fortuitous encounter. He must have had a fortuitous encounter all these years. Damn it. Mo Jui and Sword Dao Wuji roared in their hearts. They were extremely jealous. I've lost, put me down. Qin Wuyo roared. You're too naive to think that he'll let you down just because I lost. Lu Ming said indifferently and looked at Ice Fairy. This guy killed one of you. Today, he'll exchange his life for another. Upon hearing this, Qin Wuyo was scared out of his wits. He struggled madly, but he was frozen by the ice chains. How could he struggle? No, you can't kill me. You can't. Help me. He shouted. Stop. On the other side, Jin Xing also shouted and rushed toward Lu Ming, wanting to save Qin Wuyo. However, Lu Ming would not give him the chance. A powerful force rushed into Qin Wuyo's body through the ice chains. Qin Wuyo let out an unreconciled scream as his body was torn into pieces and he died on the spot. Chapter 2937 Great Battle Against the Gold Punishment Faction. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronim. Everyone present was stunned. He did not expect Lu Ming to really dare to kill Qin Wuyo. No matter how arrogant Qin Wuyo was, he was still the proud son of heaven from the Qin family, a great family in the 9 absolute heavenly king mansion. His decisiveness was truly shocking. You actually dared to kill the pride of my Qin clan. You're courting death, courting death. One of the Qin clan's paragons roared and glared at Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming ignored him. He looked at Ice Fairy and said, a life for a life. It'll help you take back the life of the brother from the Ice Soul clan. Many thanks. Ice Immortal cupped her fists and thanked him sincerely. To be honest, he also wanted to kill Qin Wuyo, but he didn't have the chance. Boom. At this moment, the fighting ring shook. Jin Xing landed on the fighting ring, and his body burst out with a dazzling golden light. His long hair fluttered in the wind, and his aura was imposing. His eyes were cold as he stared at Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, right? Very good. Your abilities have exceeded my expectations. Now, it'll be your opponent. Wait a moment. Lu Ming shouted again. Jin Xing was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. He stared at Lu Ming with sinister eyes and said, What do you want now? It's nothing. I just feel that you're no match for me alone. Call a few more and come at me together. Lu Ming said casually. What? Everyone's eyes widened as they thought they had heard wrong. Lu Ming actually complained that Jin Xing was not his opponent and wanted to call a few more opponents to attack him together? Arrogant, presumptuous. Previously, Jin Xing was already arrogant enough when he asked the Ice Immortal and the Red Flame Demonic Pine to attack together. However, Lu Ming was even more arrogant now. The combat power that Jin Xing had displayed just now was obvious to all. It was extremely shocking and terrifying. Lu Ming actually despised Jin Xing for not having enough strength? Although Lu Ming had easily defeated Qin Wuyo could not compare to Jin Xing. Although the two of them had the same cultivation, Jin Xing could probably defeat Qin Wuyo in one move. How arrogant! I don't need anyone else to deal with you. Let me see what you're capable of. Stop! Jin Xing coldly shouted as the golden light around his body became even more dazzling. Thump, thump. Jin Xing took a few steps forward and arrived in front of Lu Ming. He slashed his golden palm at Lu Ming. The palm had yet to reach him, but the terrifying force was already surging toward Lu Ming, erupting with a terrifying cutting force. A third-level celestial deity able to battle Jin Xing was truly too terrifying. Jin Xing himself was also a peerless heaven's favorite. Although he was only a 6th-level heavenly deity, it was easy for him to kill ordinary 9th-level heavenly deities. But for a 3rd-level celestial deity to have such powerful battle strength, it was truly unheard of. I'm afraid only the core of the sacred dynasty would have such a monster. In the 9 absolute heavenly king mansion, another old man also sighed. A tiny little Qin Tian starfield actually produced such a heaven's favorite. It truly exceeded their expectations. Ice chains. At this moment, Lu Ming cast the ice chains. 9 chains wrapped around Jin Xing, exuding a shocking chill. Void-breaking sword, Jin Xing said coldly. A golden light shot out from between his eyebrows, and a golden combat sword flew out. Buzz! The golden sword slashed down and cut off 2 ice chains. Then, it slashed again and cut off a few more ice chains. In the end, only the 9th ice chain could fight with the other party. Very good, Lu Ming. I didn't expect you to force me to this point. It's your honor to be able to see my ultimate move next. Break through the ages. Jin Xing roared. The golden combat sword flew toward him and was caught in his hand. However, Jin Xing didn't intend to attack with his sword. After Jin Xing grabbed it, the sword actually melted into a pool of golden liquid and integrated with his palm. Buzz! Jin Xing's hands came together and chopped down. Rip! An extremely terrifying golden light burst out and slashed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. With a thought, the 6 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma forms pounced at Jin Xing. However, the golden light was truly terrifying. When the first 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma power collided with the golden light, the dragon claw collapsed, and then the dragon body was split into 2. Then, there was a second one, a third one. An 8th-level heavenly deity genius. Please continue reading on Oxful. Omicronym. Wherever the golden light from Jin Xing's slash passed, the 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma images were shattered one after another. In an instant, the 6 divine dragon images all exploded. Even the 9th ice chain was not able to block it and was cut apart by the golden light. The terrifying golden light slashed at Lu Ming directly. Its power was truly terrifying. I didn't want to kill you, but you forced me to use this move. I can't even control myself. Go in peace. Jin Xing's eyes were cold as he thought of something. Buzz! The golden light pounced at Lu Ming's face. Lu Ming retreated quickly, but the speed of the golden light was extremely fast and it was in close pursuit of him. What will happen? The surrounding spectators' hearts were in their throats. Jin Xing's move was too terrifying. He broke Lu Ming's attack with one move and forced Lu Ming to retreat. Would Lu Ming be defeated or even die by this move? Just as Lu Ming was about to be cut by the golden light, a loud roar reverberated throughout the entire area. Then, Lu Ming's body expanded rapidly, and a 100-meter-tall giant appeared on the fighting ring. Moon slaying. Lu Ming used his ancient god body, but he didn't use his full strength. He only used the orange-armored ancient god, turning into a 100-meter-tall orange-armored ancient god. The long spear in his hand slashed out, and a crescent-shaped spear light slashed forward, clashing with the golden light. Boom! The 2 rays of light collided, creating a deafening boom. The eye-piercing radiance was so dazzling that one could not open their eyes. The 2 rays of light trembled continuously. Then, the golden light trembled even more violently before it exploded with a bang. Buzz! A figure retreated. It was Jin Xing. Jin Xing retreated a few thousand meters and spat out a mouthful of blood. His eyes were full of disbelief. His most powerful move had actually been broken, and he himself had suffered heavy injuries. The ancient god body. He has also cultivated the ancient god body. The paragons of the 9 absolute heavenly king mansion all exclaimed. As for the people of the Qin heaven starfield, they were ecstatic. Jin Xing, what other unique skills do you have? Use them all. Otherwise, it won't be enough. Lu Ming shouted and waved his long spear. Another crescent-shaped spear radiance swept toward Jin Xing, void-severing hand. Jin Xing shouted loudly and continuously struck out with his palms in an attempt to block Lu Ming's attacks. However, after Lu Ming transformed into an ancient god body, his combat strength was increased by 4 times. His combat strength was already above Jin Xing's. He could not resist him at all. Boom! Boom! Jin Xing's body shook violently. With every collision he was forced to retreat 100 meters. Soon he was at the edge of the fighting ring. Let's end this. Lu Ming shouted coldly. He held the spear with both hands and struck down with all his might. The huge spear radiance was like a mountain range, pressing down on Jin Xing. Jin Xing roared and tried his best to resist. However, even though he was unwilling, he couldn't change the fact. When the spear radiance pressed down, he spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying out of the battle stage. Jin Xing was defeated. At first, there was silence, but then there was a burst of enthusiastic cheers. We won, we won. Lu Ming actually defeated Jin Xing. It's too shocking. There's hope, there's hope. Many people shouted. Their eyes were filled with anticipation and excitement. Previously, many people had ignored Lu Ming and did not pay attention to him at all. Most of them had placed their hopes on Ice Fairy, Red Flame Magic Pine, Sword Dao Limitless, Emojui, and Gray Flame Army Destroyer. When they saw Ice Fairy and Red Flame Demonic Pine being defeated one after another, they were in despair, thinking that there was no suspense in this competition. He had never expected that Lu Ming would suddenly appear and actually defeat Jin Xing. One must know that Jin Xing had defeated the Ice Immortal and the Red Flame Demon Pine at the same time. In this way, they saw hope again. Perhaps Lu Ming could create miracles and continue to win? Perhaps Jin Xing was the strongest person in the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion? This fellow, Emojuri, Sword Dao Wuji, and the others' eyes turned grave. They knew that Lu Ming hadn't used his full strength. At least, Lu Ming's ancient god body was far more powerful than that of an orange-armored ancient god. He had not even used his full strength, yet he already had such battle prowess. They were already far behind. I told you to attack together, but you didn't listen. Now, who wants to fight? Lu Ming's gaze landed on the 4 remaining people from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. There were still 4 youths left in the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. At this moment, 3 of them had gloomy expressions. These 3 people's cultivation were all 7th-level celestial deity. However, although their cultivation base was higher than Jin Xing's, their combat strength was not. Jin Xing was a famous heaven's favorite of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. Even when facing a genius, he could fight above his level. They didn't have this ability. If Jin Xing was no match for him, neither were they. Their gazes turned to the last ordinary-looking young man. Among the 4 of them, only this person's expression could be considered calm. "I'll fight this battle." An ordinary-looking young man with a saber in his arms stepped forward, exuding a terrifying aura. His Shen power was extremely strong. 8th-level heavenly deity. Someone exclaimed. What? 8th-level heavenly deity. Chapter 2937 Great Battle Against the Gold Punishment Faction. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronim. Everyone present was stunned. He did not expect Lu Ming to really dare to kill Qin Huio. No matter how arrogant Qin Huio was, he was still the proud son of heaven from the Qin family, a great family in the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. His decisiveness was truly shocking. You actually dared to kill the pride of my Qin clan. You're courting death, courting death. One of the Qin clan's paragons roared and glared at Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming ignored him. He looked at Ice Fairy and said, "A life for a life. I'll help you take back the life of the brother from the Ice Soul clan." "Many thanks." Ice Immortal cupped her fists and thanked him sincerely. To be honest, he also wanted to kill Qin Huio, but he didn't have the chance. Boom. At this moment, the fighting ring shook. Jin Xing landed on the fighting ring, and his body burst out with a dazzling golden light. His long hair fluttered in the wind, and his aura was imposing. His eyes were cold as he stared at Lu Ming and said, "Lu Ming, right? Very good. Your abilities have exceeded my expectations. Now, I'll be your opponent." "Wait a moment." Lu Ming shouted again. Jin Xing was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. He stared at Lu Ming with sinister eyes and said, "What do you want now?" "It's nothing. I just feel that you're no match for me alone. Call a few more and come at me together," Lu Ming said casually. "What?" Everyone's eyes widened as they thought they had heard wrong. Lu Ming actually complained that Jin Xing was not his opponent and wanted to call a few more opponents to attack him together? Arrogant, presumptuous. Previously, Jin Xing was already arrogant enough when he asked the Ice Immortal and the Red Flame Demonic Pine to attack together. However, Lu Ming was even more arrogant now. The combat power that Jin Xing had displayed just now was obvious to all. It was extremely shocking and terrifying. Lu Ming actually despised Jin Xing for not having enough strength? Although Lu Ming had easily defeated Qin Wuyo could not compare to Jin Xing. Although the two of them had the same cultivation, Jin Xing could probably defeat Qin Wuyo in one move. How arrogant! I don't need anyone else to deal with you. Let me see what you're capable of. Stop! Jin Xing coldly shouted as the golden light around his body became even more dazzling. Thump, thump. Jin Xing took a few steps forward and arrived in front of Lu Ming. He slashed his golden palm at Lu Ming. The palm had yet to reach him, but the terrifying force was already surging toward Lu Ming, erupting with a terrifying cutting force. Chapter 2941 Conflict Triggered. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronim. He was actually defeated. At this moment, in the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion, some young men muttered to themselves. They found it hard to accept this fact. Before the battle, they were full of confidence, thinking that this was a competition without any suspense, and that they could not lose at all. Therefore, they agreed to Lu Ming and the rest's condition of extending the time limit by 1,000 years. Their goal was nothing more than to humiliate Lu Ming and the others and put pressure on the Qin Heaven Star Zone. They wanted to let the people of the Qin Heaven Star Zone know that the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion was not something they could fight against. It could also make the thief apprehensive and hand over the treasure obediently. In the beginning, the plot was indeed similar to what they had imagined. When the Absolute Sword and Jin Xing appeared, they practically crushed the Qin Heaven Starfield's geniuses with a sweeping attitude. However, they had never expected a dark horse to appear. Lu Ming had displayed abilities that even they were shocked by and had swept them in the opposite direction, causing them to taste defeat. At that moment, Lu Ming raised his hand and the entire place gradually quieted down. Lu Ming kept the ancient god tactic. His body began to shrink and he transformed into a human. Now you've lost. It's time to fulfill the conditions you've agreed to, Lu Ming said loudly. The other people from the Qin Heaven Starfield also looked at the people from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion with bright eyes. Jin Xing, Wei Dao, and the others had unsightly expressions. They wanted to deny it, but they had said it in public. They were the pride of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. It was really embarrassing to deny it. Therefore, they didn't know how to answer him. What's wrong? The dignified 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion wouldn't go back on their words, right? Lu Ming's voice rang out. He placed the blame on the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion so that they could not deny it even if they wanted to. How can we go back on our words? All right, they'll promise you today. They'll give you the Qin Heaven Star region 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, if you still can't hand over the 9 Absolute Divine Crystal, the army of my 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion will definitely arrive. In the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion, a white-haired old man opened his mouth, and his voice spread throughout the entire place. All right, it's a deal. Lu Ming continued. Remember, you only have 1,000 years. Go. The white-haired old man turned around and left after saying this. Lu Ming, I'll definitely defeat you one day and take revenge for today's humiliation. Jin Xing's eyes fell on Lu Ming and he said with fighting spirit, after today's defeat, I'm afraid you won't have any more chances in the future. Lu Ming replied, full of confidence. Let's wait and see. Jin Xing said coldly, then turned around and left. Very quickly, all the people from the 9 Heavens Royal Palace had left. The people of the Qin Heaven Starfield were all ecstatic. This time, he had finally won 1,000 years. Although 1,000 years was nothing to the vast universe, at least he had a chance to catch his breath. Lu Ming had won this opportunity. Many people looked at Lu Ming with eyes full of gratitude. However, many major forces still felt a sense of urgency. 1,000 years passed in the blink of an eye. Could they really find the treasures of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor? Let's go! Lu Ming went to Ouyang Qingxiang and the others and left the place together. After a while, they returned to Kong Xian sect. Not long after, the news spread throughout the Qin Heaven Star region. The people of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor had indeed all withdrawn from the Qin Heaven Star region. However, the atmosphere in the Qin Heaven Star field did not relax because of this. Instead, it became even more solemn. That was because all the major forces in the Qin Heaven Star field were suspicious of each other. They were all guessing who had stolen the treasures of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. Who exactly stole the treasure of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor? Quickly hand it over. Are you trying to get everyone killed? Which force is so selfish? How hateful? More and more of such voices were heard. He guessed that this power had been stolen. He guessed that it was stolen by that power. There were already conflicts between the major forces of the Qin Heaven Starfield. At this time, the conflicts were naturally triggered. Some forces even had some friction and showed signs of fighting. The Red Flame Clan and the Ice Soul Clan were like fire and water. The Red Flame Clan said that the Ice Soul Clan had stolen the treasures of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. However, the Ice Soul Clan was not to be outdone. They claimed that the Red Flame Clan had stolen the treasure. The two races were already mortal enemies and had deep conflicts. As a result, the fire of conflict between them was completely ignited. After a few months, the two races finally started to fight. In this battle, even many God-King level experts were sent out. Both sides fought fiercely and both sides suffered losses. After that, it was a long tug-of-war. Both sides had invested a large number of troops in the border galaxy, and wars would break out from time to time. The atmosphere between the Qin Heavenly 13 clans was extremely tense. As for those small forces, everyone was in danger. 10 years passed just like that. The Qin Heaven 13 clans barely managed to maintain a balance. Occasionally, some small conflicts would erupt. However, if this continued as the 1,000-year period drew closer, a war would definitely break out. At that time, before the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor's army arrived, the Qin Heaven Starfield would be weakened because of internal strife. One day, Lu Ming received a message from the Ice Soul Clan. They invited him to a gathering. Lu Ming was a little confused, but he did not refuse. He rushed to the Ice Soul Clan alone. "Brother Lu, long time no see. You're getting stronger and stronger. You've already left me far behind." The person who received Lu Ming was the 9th young master of the Ice Soul Clan, Bing Qing. Bing Qing laughed at herself when she saw Lu Ming. When Lu Ming was fighting Jin Xing, Wei Dao and the rest, Bing Qing was in seclusion and did not see it. After hearing about it, she was naturally shocked. "Brother Bing is too polite. I wonder what is the matter for your noble to call me here this time?" Lu Ming said. "I heard that it's about the treasure of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion." Bing Qing's face turned solemn as she whispered to Lu Ming, as if she was afraid that others would hear her. "A treasure from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion? Could it be that there's news about the nobles?" Lu Ming's eyes lit up. "I think I've found a clue. Lu Ming, my father is waiting for you. Come with me. My father will tell you." Bing Qing said softly. Lu Ming was curious. If the Ice Soul Clan had really found some clues, why did they call him here? What did this have to do with him? Curious, Lu Ming and Bing Qing came to a courtyard. There was a table in the courtyard, and there were only 2 people sitting at the table. One of them was Bing Qing's father, the clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan. The other person was the number 1 genius of the Ice Soul Clan, Bing Qing's 7th brother, Bing Xian. "Lu Ming, you're here." Seeing Lu Ming, the clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan and the Ice Immortal all smiled and stood up to welcome him. Lu Ming. "Greetings, clan leader Bing." Lu Ming cupped his fists courteously and then greeted the ice deity. The clan leader's suspicion. Please continue reading on Oxful. Omicronym. "Ah, oh Lu Ming, please take a seat." The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan smiled heroically and invited Lu Ming to take a seat. Lu Ming and Bing Qing sat down at the side. "I wonder why clan leader Bing has asked Lu Ming to come?" Lu Ming did not beat around the bush and directly asked the question in his heart. "Lu Ming, I've asked you to come this time because of the treasure that was stolen from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan said. Could it be that the clan leader has already found some clues? Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. I did find some clues, but I can't be sure. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan said. He pondered for a moment before he continued, Lu Ming, you should know about the Dark Ice clan, right? Dark Ice clan? You mean the clan that betrayed the Ice Soul clan? Lu Ming's expression changed. He still remembered that he had been sent to the Ice Soul clan on a mission to help the Ice Soul clan go to the ancestral land and retrieve the Ice Jade Cold Heart. In the ancestral land of the Ice Soul clan, he had met the prodigy of the Dark Ice clan. The two of them had fought over the Ice Jade Cold Heart. Could it be related to the Dark Ice clan? I speculate that the one who stole the treasure of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion was the Dark Ice clan. These years, the Dark Ice clan has been weakening day by day, and the 9 Absolute Divine Crystal can help the Dark Ice clan rise again. It can even defeat my clan and return to the peak of the Qin Tian Starfield. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan said. Clan leader Bing, is this your speculation or is there evidence? Lu Ming took a sip of tea and asked calmly. He naturally wouldn't easily believe the other party's words. The Ice Soul clan and the Dark Ice clan had a deep hatred for each other. They both wanted to destroy each other. If the Ice Soul clan wanted to frame the Dark Ice clan, it was possible that they could take the opportunity to destroy the other. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan smiled when he heard Lu Ming's question. He was an experienced man who had lived for countless years. He naturally knew what Lu Ming was thinking. Lu Ming, you might think that I will frame the Dark Ice clan. However, this matter concerns the survival of the Qin Heaven Star Zone and my clan. I'm not a fool. There are plenty of opportunities to deal with the Dark Ice clan. Why would I choose this time? The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan smiled and continued. The Dark Ice clan used to be very active and often had conflicts with us. But recently, they've been hiding. They've hidden all of their clansmen. They haven't done anything yet. This is very suspicious. I suspect that they've obtained a treasure and want to accumulate power in the dark, waiting for the day to explode. Clan leader Bing, even if it was the Dark Ice clan's doing, with the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion's defense, how could the Dark Ice clan have stolen the treasure? Lu Ming asked again. If the Dark Ice clan was so powerful that they could steal the treasures from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor, they would have exterminated the Ice Soul clan and unified the Qin Heaven Star realm. This is the key to the problem. I suspect that there is a traitor in the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion who is in cahoots with outsiders. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for outsiders to steal the treasure from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan said in a low voice. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. To be honest, Lu Ming had also thought of this before. The 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor was one of the 27 Heavenly King Manors in the Great Void Holy Dynasty. Not to mention Heavenly King 9 Cuts, cultivation, even the guards of 9 Cuts Heavenly King Mansion were extremely terrifying and unfathomable. It was almost impossible for outsiders to steal the treasure from the guards without anyone knowing. There was only one reason: there was a traitor in the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion who was in cahoots with outsiders. This was the only way to steal the treasure without anyone knowing. However, which force in the Qin Heaven Starfield would collude with the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor's people? In the Qin Heaven Starfield, to be honest, whether it's my Ice Soul clan, the Scarlet Flame clan, or the Qin Heaven 13 clans, they're not worth mentioning in the eyes of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. We don't have the qualifications to make friends with the major forces and aristocratic families of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. However, the Dark Ice clan is an exception. After the Dark Ice clan was defeated, they left the Qin Heaven Star region and wandered to other places. It took a long time before they returned to the Qin Heaven Star region. Therefore, the Dark Ice clan is most likely to be acquainted with people from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. Furthermore, my clan has always secretly sent people to keep an eye on the Dark Ice clan. A while ago, The Dark Ice Clan was very active and would often send people out of the Qin Heaven Star system to the territory where the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion is located. This is the biggest suspicion. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan explained. It's actually like this. Lu Ming's eyes were also bright. After hearing what the patriarch of the Ice Soul Clan said, he really thought that the Dark Ice Clan was the most suspicious. If it's really the Dark Ice Clan, then why did the experts of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion collude with the Dark Ice Clan to steal the treasures of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion? What benefits would they get from doing this? Lu Ming asked. He still had many doubts. I'm not sure about this. I'm also confused. On the surface, it doesn't seem to benefit those people from the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. However, I guess they must have a purpose for doing this. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan also frowned. However, all of this is just my speculation. Without any evidence, it's not enough to be trusted. The people of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion will not believe me. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan sighed. Chief Bing, what does this have to do with you inviting me here? Lu Ming asked again. Even if the clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan was right, it had nothing to do with him. What kind of help could he provide? First of all, we have to find evidence of the Dark Ice race stealing the treasures. But to find evidence, it's almost impossible in the Qin Heaven Star domain. Only at the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Manor can we possibly find evidence. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan said. Clan leader Bing, you want me to go to the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion to find evidence? Lu Ming's eyes flashed as he asked. Not bad, yes. The Ice Soul Clan's patriarch nodded. Our clan has planted an informer in the Dark Ice Clan, but the Dark Ice Clan has also planted an informer in our clan. As long as we send someone to the 9 Ultimate Heavenly King Mansion, we'll immediately alert the other party. We'll alert the enemy instead. Also, it's not suitable for those with high cultivation to head to the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. They will also alert the Dark Ice race. Only those of the younger generation who go to the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion with the excuse of training and looking for other heaven's favorites will not attract the attention of others. This is because there are many such things in every generation. Lu Ming understood now. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan wanted Lu Ming to go to the 9 Ultimate Heavenly King Mansion with the excuse of training to investigate the case of the 9 Ultimate Heavenly King Mansion's treasure being stolen and find evidence of the Dark Ice Clan's theft. All right, I'll go. Lu Ming nodded in agreement. Ah. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan was stunned. He did not expect Lu Ming to agree so readily. He invited Lu Ming over only to raise the suggestion. As for whether Lu Ming would agree to it, he would not force him. He did not expect that Lu Ming would agree without the slightest hesitation. Chapter 2942 Magic City Mountain. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronym. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan did not know that Lu Ming had planned to go to the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. Because of Jing Yes matter, Lu Ming had to head to the Great Void Holy Dynasty. The 9 Ultimate Heavenly King Mansion was the only way to the Great Void Holy Dynasty. Lu Ming had originally planned to head to the Great Void Holy Dynasty when his cultivation was higher. However, there were benefits to heading to the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion earlier. At least, he would be able to understand more about the Great Void Holy Dynasty. There's no time to lose. I'll leave in a few days. Lu Ming pondered for a moment and continued. Lu Ming, go to the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. It's best if you go to Magic City Mountain first. The clan leader of the Ice Soul Clan said. Magic City Mountain? Lu Ming had a puzzled look. That's right, Magic City Mountain. The clan leader nodded and said, to the west of the Qin Heaven Starfield is a starfield that's close to the Qin Heaven Starfield. It's called the Chu Heaven Starfield. The Magic Capital Mountain is located in the Chu Heaven Starfield. In the past, when the Dark Ice Clan left the Qin Tian Starfield, they often went to Magic City Mountain. I suspect that Magic City Mountain is where the Dark Ice Clan and the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion come into contact. Therefore, we might be able to find clues on Magic City Mountain. Very few people know about this. We have also been secretly watching the Dark Ice Clan and discovered it by accident. The clan leader of the Ice Soul clan said. All right, I'll go to Magic City Mountain first. Lu Ming nodded. Both parties chatted for a while more before Lu Ming got up and left. Before he left, the Ice Soul clan's patriarch gave Lu Ming a star map of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. However, the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion occupied a huge territory. The star map only gave a rough location. Many small places were not clearly marked. Therefore, Lu Ming thought of Wu Zifeng. Wu Zifeng came from the great Wu family of the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. He would still need help if he went to the 9 Absolute Heavenly King Mansion. Coincidentally, Wu Zifeng was in the Kong Xian sect during this period of time. Not long after, Lu Ming returned to the Kong Xian sect and looked for Wu Zifeng. He explained his purpose of visit and Wu Zifeng agreed without hesitation. Yu Linglong knew about it and also clamored to come along. In the end, Lu Ming brought Xiu Yu, Wu Zifeng, and Yu Linglong with him and left Kong Xian sect quietly without alerting anyone. Want to leave the Qin Heaven star field, one had to take the Interstar Field Teleportation Array. The Qin Heaven Galaxy's Intergalaxy Teleportation Array was on planet Wn Ling. The 4 of them arrived at planet Thousand Spirits. After paying an expensive toll, they stepped into the teleportation formation to Chu Tian Star Field. Lu Ming felt as if he was traveling through the void. He looked at the lights and shadows that passed by him. He knew that he was moving forward at an astonishing speed. However, the distance between the 2 star areas was too far. Even if they took the teleportation formation, the process would still be very long. This process lasted for half a month. The surroundings trembled, and a ray of light pierced through. Lu Ming knew that he had arrived at Chu Tian Star Domain. Lu Ming was secretly shocked. It would take half a month to teleport by using the teleportation array. One could imagine how long the distance was. If they were to fly, it would take God knows how long. Even a God King would not be able to cover such a long distance without thousands of years. The distance between 2 star fields was often many times larger than the territory of the star field itself. This is the Montua Galaxy of the Chu Tian Star Domain that's closest to the Qin Tian Star Domain. Magic City Mountain is on the other side. Let's go! Wu Zifeng was quite familiar with the Chu Tian Star Field. He brought Lu Ming and the rest to the teleportation array and headed to Magic City Mountain. Magic City Mountain was really a mountain, a huge mountain floating in the universe. It was like the Mountain of Desolation, incomparably huge, even bigger than many planets. In the vast universe, there were all sorts of strange things and wonders. Not all of them were planets. There were some divine mountains that were even larger than planets floating in the air. There were even some continents that were suspended in the starry sky of the universe, forming their own world. What was even more amazing was that there was an incomparably huge ancient city floating in the starry sky. There were even huge ancient trees and huge desolate beast corpses. After evolution, they formed a world. There were too many of such things to count. Lu Ming was not surprised. After a month's journey, they finally neared Magic City Mountain. Standing in the universe's star field and looking from afar, a huge mountain floated in the starry sky. Above it, demonic mist permeated the air. This was the Magic City Mountain. Let's go! Lu Ming took the lead and flew over. At the same time, he enveloped Wu Zifeng and Yu Linglong with a divine power. This was because Yu Linglong and Wu Zifeng had not reached the celestial god realm. The 2 of them were both in the 7th tier true god realm. To be honest, this cultivation speed was already extremely fast. Of course, compared to Lu Ming and Xiu Yu, there was a huge difference. The 4 of them landed on the edge of Magic City Mountain and then flew forward. Not long after, a large city appeared in front of them. Chapter 2944 General Fiend Guard. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronim. A total of 4 burly men stood in front of Lu Ming and the other 3. The 4 big men were wearing black iron armors and had fierce-looking faces. One look and one could tell that they were fierce characters. The 4 of you must be outsiders. I've never seen you before. One of the burly men with a scar on his face swept his gaze across Lu Ming and the other three. When he saw Qiu Yu and Yu Linglong, his eyes were burning with a fiery flame. "That's right, we're outsiders and have just come here to train." Lu Ming answered casually. "Just arrived?" "Nonsense." The scar-faced man suddenly shouted as a ferocious smile appeared on his face. He stared at Qiu Yu and Yu Linglong and said, "Some time ago, 2 female thieves appeared in the Devil General City and stole the treasure of the city lord. I saw that their figures were very similar to those 2 female thieves. Now, I will arrest them and bring them back for interrogation. Brothers, take him down." The knife-scarred man roared. "He, 2 female thieves, just surrender." The other 3 men in black armor had lecherous looks on their faces. He walked towards Qiu Yu and Yu Linglong with a smile. Now, even a fool could see that the knife-scarred man and the other 3 had obviously taken a fancy to Qiu Yu and Yu Linglong's looks and wanted to get their hands on them. The so-called female thief was just an excuse they made up. "You're looking for death." Wu Zifeng's anger soared to the sky. His aura rushed out and he threw a punch. "A mere 7th-stage true god also wants to make a move on me. Courting death." The man with the knife scar sneered and smacked out a palm. A terrifying palm force surged towards Wu Zifeng. 3rd level celestial deity. The knife-scarred man's cultivation was at the 3rd level of celestial deity, much stronger than Wu Zifeng. No matter how much of a genius Wu Zifeng was, he could not make up for it. Seeing this palm fall, even if Wu Zifeng did not die, he would be crippled. Buzz. A figure appeared in front of Wu Zifeng. With a wave of his hand, the knife-scarred man's palm force was dispersed. "Brat, you still dare to fight back? You don't know what's good for you. Brothers, leave these 2 to me. You guys take those 2 girls." The knife-scarred man shouted. "Attack!" The other 3 burly men attacked at the same time. They stretched out their demonic claws and grabbed towards Qiu Yu and Yu Linglong. Lu Ming did not make a move. The other 3 burly men were only 1st-tier celestial gods and were no match for Qiu Yu. As expected, a snow-white blade light bloomed from Qiu Yu's hand. A blood-red light burst out and 3 miserable screams rang out. The 3 black-armored men were forced to retreat. Chapter 2944 War erupts. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronim. Kill. At the general's command, the General Demonic Guard army roared. At the same time, hundreds of General Demonic Guards stepped out and charged at Lu Ming, launching attacks at him. In their eyes, only Lu Ming posed a threat. Wu Zifeng and the rest were not a threat. "You brought this upon yourself. You can't live." "Ill go," Lu Ming said indifferently. 10 divine fires burned in his dantian. 10 types of divine power gathered together and surged toward Lu Ming's arm. Boom, boom. Lu Ming swung his fists continuously, and 9-clawed divine dragons pounced out one after another. A total of 6 9-clawed divine dragons stomped with their claws and destroyed all the Fiend Guard's attacks. Then they continued to pounce at them. The dragon claws that were as large as mountains clawed at them. "Ah, not good. Quickly retreat." "Don't." Hundreds of General Fiend Guards screamed in fear and tried to dodge, but it was too late. As the dragon claw swiped down, regardless of whether it was a 1st level, 2nd level, or 3rd level celestial deity, they all exploded, their bodies and spirits destroyed. With a single move, over 100 General Fiend Guards were annihilated. CSI. Gasps could be heard from all around. He did not expect Lu Ming's combat strength to be so powerful. "Damn it. Quickly lay down the Demon General formation." The general of the General Fiend Guards was extremely shocked. He then roared and gathered the General Fiend Guards to set up a large array to deal with Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming would not give him the chance. "Break the air." A cold voice rang out as a dazzling spear light shot toward the general of the Fiend Guard. This move had already triggered the double combat power of the battle formula. The general of the General Fiend Guard was unable to block it at all. The spear radiance pierced through the space between his eyebrows and his body fell to the ground. The general is dead. With the death of the General MO guards, the thousands of General MO guards immediately fell into chaos and fled in all directions like ants on a hot pan. Steady! Suddenly, a loud shout came from the sky, and an extremely powerful aura filled the air. How dare you cause trouble in my General Devil City? You don't know what's good for you. Kill. Another angry roar was heard in the sky. Then, a figure rushed toward Lu Ming. Before the figure even arrived, a black palm print was already blasting toward Lu Ming. 8th level heavenly deity. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. The moment the other party attacked, Lu Ming could sense the cultivation of the person who attacked. Lu Ming held the long spear in his hand and rushed up. A beam of spear light as large as a mountain soared into the sky and pierced toward the palm print. Boom! The spear radiance and the palm print collided with a deafening boom. The sky trembled violently and the force spread in all directions. Then, the spear light and the palm print disappeared. In the next moment, a middle-aged man in a purple robe appeared in the sky. He was thin, but his aura was like a mountain. City Lord, it's the City Lord. We pay our respects to the City Lord. Seeing the purple-robed middle-aged man, the fiend guard calmed down and saluted him. Set up the formation. The purple-robed middle-aged man waved his hand and spoke indifferently. His voice was filled with dignity. Immediately, thousands of General Fiend guards moved and set up a formation, waiting for their arrival. However, the purple-robed middle-aged man's cold gaze was fixed on Lu Ming. It's been a long time since anyone dared to kill my General Fiend guards in my General Fiend City. You will pay a heavy price for this. The City Lord of the Devil General City said coldly. Aren't you going to ask me why I killed him? Lu Ming said. I don't need to know why you killed them. I only know that you killed the people of my Devil General City. That's enough. The City Lord's voice became even colder. As soon as he finished speaking, he charged towards Lu Ming. His 8th-tier celestial deity cultivation erupted with all his might. The terrifying palm force pressed down on Lu Ming like an avalanche. Lu Ming snorted coldly. The other party had attacked Lu Ming without asking for the reason. This had infuriated Lu Ming. In an instant, Lu Ming triggered the tripled combat power of the battle formula. Buzz! The spear trembled and a mountain-like spear radiance swept across the void. Boom! Boom! The huge spear radiance and the pitch-black palm print collided continuously. In an instant, the two of them had exchanged dozens of moves. Break, moon cutting, Lu Ming shouted in a low voice. He held the spear with both hands and slashed down. A huge crescent-shaped spear radiance slashed forward violently. Bang! Bang! The City Lord's palm print was shattered one after another. Jiang Mo Cheng's expression changed drastically. He retreated 10,000 meters before he could stabilize his body. His face was a little pale. So strong. The surrounding people and the General Fiend guards were all shocked. Lu Ming's cultivation base was merely at the 3rd-tier celestial deity realm, but his combat strength was actually so powerful that he could actually force the General Demon City's City Lord to retreat. Could this person be a peerless heaven's favorite from the outside? The General Devil City's City Lord himself was also extremely shocked. Other than a peerless heaven's favorite from the outside world, no one else could have such strong battle prowess. So what if he's an outsider? He'll have to pay the price for killing my fiend General Guard. The eyes of the General Devil City's City Lord turned cold. Kid, you're quite capable, but if that's all you're capable of, you'll still die. Devil Soul Curse. The General Demon City's City Lord shouted. Runes suddenly appeared on his body. These runes formed a kind of curse seal, which was similar to the dark dragon blood curse that Lu Ming had been afflicted with. However, these curse marks covered the General Demon City's City Lord's entire body like demons. The City Lord of the Devil General City revealed a pained expression. However, his aura had skyrocketed. He rose to the 9th-level celestial deity realm in one go. Brat die! The General Demon City's City Master roared in anger and charged at Lu Ming. His claws turned into demonic claws, sharper than divine artifacts, and he clawed at Lu Ming. Break the air, break the air. Lu Ming continuously cast the first move of the 3 apocalyptic strikes, space-piercing. Rays of spear light bloomed from Lu Ming's hands, filling the void and charging toward the city master of General Demon City. The two of them exchanged blows once again, but this time, they were evenly matched. The two of them continued to fight in the air. They exchanged dozens of moves in a row, and neither of them could do anything to the other. With Lu Ming's current cultivation base, even if he did not use the ancient god body, the activation of the battle character formula would triple his combat power. It would be enough to fight against a 9th-level celestial deity. How is this kid so strong? The city lord of General Devil City was more and more shocked. At that moment, a purple-robed young man appeared not far away. Young city lord. Many General Fiend guards saluted the young man. This man was the young city lord of General Devil City, Yanji. Yanji was also staring at Lu Ming. A 3rd-level heavenly deity actually has such powerful battle prowess. Yanji murmured, his eyes full of jealousy. But the next moment, he turned his eyes and the jealousy disappeared, as if he was thinking, "Father, stop." After that, Yanji sent a message to the General Demon City's city lord. "Stop." The General Devil City's city lord was puzzled. "That's right. Stop and make peace with this person. This person's talent is astonishing. Perhaps we can use him to help us take back the Spirit Lake." Yanji continued. Chapter 2946 Demonic Cities Great War. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronym. Spirit Liquid Lake? Not bad at all. The eyes of the General Demon City's city master lit up. Then, after exchanging a blow with Lu Ming, he quickly retreated. "Wait a minute, stop fighting." The General Devil City Lord roared. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. Initially, he wanted to activate the battle formula to quadruple his combat strength and finish off his opponent. However, his opponent suddenly stopped fighting. Lu Ming was slightly stunned and stopped attacking. "Little brother, with your strength, you must be a peerless heaven's favorite from the outside world. I believe you wouldn't kill someone for no reason. What happened just now?" The General Devil City Lord asked. "They really bully the weak and fear the strong." Lu Ming laughed in his heart. He thought that the other party was bullying the weak and afraid of the strong. After seeing his ability, he was afraid. However, Lu Ming did not want to fight to the end with the other party. He did not want to blow up the matter. The purpose of his visit to Magic City Mountain was to investigate the Dark Ice race and the case of the 9 absolute Heavenly King Mansion's treasure being stolen. If the matter was blown up too much, it would be disadvantageous for his investigation. "What's going on?" "Hee, your people are really overbearing," Lu Ming briefly explained what had happened earlier. After hearing this, the General Devil City's city lord's face showed anger and he shouted coldly, "So that's how it is. He actually captured people without asking for the right and wrong. He really deserves to die." Then he looked at the other fiend generals and said, "Just like what I told you, you need evidence for everything, understand? Today, those who have fallen will be your lesson." Yes. Many General Fiend guards nodded their heads, but they felt strange in their hearts. The city lord usually didn't give such orders. Of course, they didn't dare to question the city lord's words. "Little brother, it seems that this is a misunderstanding. I was too impetuous before. I attacked you without asking for the reason. I'm really sorry. Fortunately, little brother is strong. Otherwise, I'd have committed a sin." The General Devil City Lord smiled. Lu Ming smiled faintly. How could he not see through the city lord's pretense? "Then how should we resolve this matter?" Lu Ming asked. "Write off everything, naturally write off everything." The General Devil City Lord said. Yanji, the young city lord of General Devil City. "How should I address you?" At this moment, Yanjifei came over and greeted Lu Ming with a fist salute. As the saying went, one should not slap a smiling face. Lu Ming smiled faintly and said, "Lu Ming, so it's Brother Lu." Lu Ming should be from the 9 absolute Heavenly King Mansion, right? Only the 9 absolute heavenly king mansion can produce a prodigy like Brother Lu. Yanji said courteously. Almost. Naturally, Lu Ming would not deliberately deny it. Brother Lu is indeed the pride of the 9 absolute heavenly king mansion. I love to make friends with people like Brother Lu. It's really my good fortune to meet you today. Brother Lu, do you mind going for a drink? Yanji said, Of course you can. Lu Ming had an idea in his mind and he nodded in agreement. As the castellan of one of the 36 cities on Magic City Mountain, the other party had a lot of power on Magic City Mountain. Perhaps he could be of help to Lu Ming's investigation of the Dark Ice race. Indeed, Lu Ming had to integrate himself into Magic City Mountain in order to better investigate. For this, he would need the other party's help. Moreover, Lu Ming was bold and skilled. He was not afraid that the other party would play any tricks. Please. The General Devil City Lord waved his hand. Not long after, a banquet was prepared in the main hall of the City Lord's mansion. Lu Ming, Qiuyu, Wu Zifeng, and Yu Linglong were all present. The City Lord of the Demon City and Yan Ji were also present. Brother Lu, you've come to Magic City Mountain for the great battle of Magic City, right? After drinking 2 glasses, Yan Ji's eyes turned and he asked with a smile. The great battle of Demonic City? Lu Ming, Wu Zifeng, and the others looked puzzled. Brother Lu, you guys don't know about the great battle in Shanghai? Yan Ji was a little surprised. I don't know. This is the first time I've heard of it. Lu Ming shook his head. It's not for the great battle in Demonic City? So Brother Lu, you're here for Mo Yechuan? Yan Ji guessed again. That's right. It's indeed for the sake of the Demon Night Spring. Lu Ming's heart stirred. This time he did not deny it. It's not easy to get the Demon Night Spring. You have to go to the Magic City to have a chance to buy it. Brother Lu, do you have any way to get into the Magic City? Yan Ji asked tentatively. I don't have a way yet. I wonder if Brother Yan has a way to help me get into Shanghai? Lu Ming asked. The joy in Yan Ji's eyes disappeared as he said, There is a way. However, the number of people that we can recommend to enter the demon capital is very limited. At this point, Yan Ji stopped. They're here. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. From Yan Ji's tone, Lu Ming could tell that the other party was going to state conditions. Brother Yan, if you have something to say, just say it. Lu Ming said. That's good. I have something that I would like to ask Brother Lu for help. If Brother Lu can help me, I will think of a way to let the 4 of you enter the Magic City. It might even be possible to get the Magic Night Spring. Yan Ji said. Please speak. Lu Ming said. Soon, there will be a battle between our General Devil City and the nearby Ape Devil City. The younger generation will fight for a spiritual land. Each side will send 3 people. The spiritual land will belong to the side that wins. I would like to ask Brother Lu to fight in the place of General Devil City. Yan Ji finally revealed his purpose. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He had long known that Yan Ji had a condition. Otherwise, he would not have let him off so easily after killing so many people in General Demon City. Alright, I agree. Lu Ming nodded directly. It was just a duel between the younger generation on Magic City Mountain. Lu Ming did not take it to heart at all. To him, it was not difficult. It was as easy as lifting a finger. I'll be tomorrow. I'll thank Brother Lu in advance. Yan Ji raised his cup. The City Lord of the General Devil City sat at the side, slowly drinking his wine, and did not speak. After 3 rounds of drinking, the banquet finally ended. Lu Ming and the other 3 stayed in General Demon City for the time being. On the second day, little brother Lu Ming, to avoid alerting the enemy and making them suspicious, it's not good for your friends to follow us. How about they stay in General Demon City for the time being? The General Devil City Lord said. All right. Lu Ming nodded. It was just a few rounds of competition, and it would end very soon. There was no harm in letting Qiuyu and the others stay here for now. Then, Lu Ming, Yan Ji, and another young man from General Demon City left General Demon City together and headed to Ape Demon City. Ape Demon City was also one of the 36 satellite cities of Demon Capital Mountain. Magic City Mountain. Magic City was high above and ruled Magic City Mountain. As for the 36 satellite cities under him, they were fighting on their own. Demonic City turned a blind eye to this. The battle between the General Devil City and Ape Devil City was particularly fierce. In recent years, the two sides had been fighting for a spiritual land, a spiritual liquid lake, and there would be a huge battle from time to time. Chapter 2947 Ape King Transformation. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronym. Therefore, the General Devil City and Ape Devil City set a rule. Every once in a while, both sides would send out 3 geniuses from the younger generation to compete with each other. The winner would obtain the right to use the Spirit Fluid Lake. This time, it was time for the two sides to compete again. When Yanji saw Lu Ming's amazing combat strength, he wanted to ask for Lu Ming's help. That was why he stopped the city lord of General Demon City. Not long after, a huge city appeared in front of them. The city gates were tightly shut, and there were already many people standing on top of the city gates. Standing on the city gate was the city lord of Ape Demon City and the son of the city lord, Yanji's sworn enemy. Yuan Shan, we've already arrived. Where are the people you're going to fight? Yanji shouted as he stared at one of the burly young men. The young man's arms were extremely long, reaching his knees. He was extremely burly. He was Yuan Shan, the young city lord of the Ape Demon City. You're really anxious. Since you're in a hurry to be defeated, then I'll naturally fulfill your wish. Yuan Shan chuckled and then stepped out. 2 other young men followed Yuan Shan out. A man and a woman. The man was ordinary, but the woman was quite beautiful. There was a colorful poisonous snake twining around her arm. Yanji's eyes fell on the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. His pupils slightly narrowed and he said, I've never seen this beautiful lady before. Yuan Shan, could she be a helper you've invited from the outside? On your side, don't you also have someone I haven't met before? You must have also been invited from the outside. Yuan Shan's gaze was fixed on Lu Ming, his eyes glimmering. Yanji's face darkened as he looked at the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. He was a little shocked. Naturally, they knew the background of the Heaven's Pride experts of their Magic City Mountain. However, once they met a Heaven's Pride expert that was invited from the outside, they had no confidence. Although Lu Ming's combat strength was strong, he was only a 3rd-level celestial deity after all. He could not quite figure out the cultivation of the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. Come on, Yanji. Make your move and send you away as soon as possible. I still have to go back and drink with Lady Lian. Yuan Shan said loudly. Towards the end of his sentence, he looked at the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm, and a fiery light flashed in his eyes. We might not be the ones to lose. Lu Han, you go first. Yanji ordered. Yes. The young man beside Yanji walked out. You go and deal with him. Yuan Shan pointed to a young man beside him. The young man stepped forward and stood opposite Lu Han. The same old rules. The one who wins in the end is the winner, Yuan Shan said. Yanji nodded. Boom. The 2 young men in the arena were engaged in an intense battle. 4th-level celestial deity, control of sacred grade divine power. Lu Ming was slightly surprised. Lu Ming was surprised that the young man, who was selected from the 2 satellite cities at the foot of Mount Magic City, had such a cultivation level. Such a character, when placed in the Qin Heaven Starfield, could already be considered a Saint Child level character. It is said that the Qin Heaven Star system is at the edge of the Great Void Holy Dynasty. The cultivation level is very low, and even the 9 absolute Heavenly King Manor is too lazy to care about it. It seems like it makes sense. Lu Ming pondered. Even though the Chu Tian Starfield was close to the Qin Heaven Starfield, its cultivation level was far above the Qin Heaven Starfield. The 9 absolute Heavenly King Manor had sent an army to guard this place, as well as people to manage it. Be it the cultivation environment or the level of cultivation, the Chu Tian Starfield was far superior to the Qin Heaven Starfield. Naturally, there were more geniuses born there. The 2 of them had the same cultivation and combat strength. After exchanging hundreds of moves, they both suffered heavy injuries and retreated. The first round was a draw. Yanji, it's our turn. Yuan Shan took a step forward, causing the air to rumble. This time, I will definitely defeat you. Yanji's eyes flickered with a ferocious light. He had been fighting with Yuan Shan since young, but every time, he was always a little weaker. This was a sore point in his heart. Defeat me? Ha, Yanji, let me tell you, you will never be my match in your entire life. Yuan Shan laughed and waved his long arm. His huge fist punched towards Yanji, and a muffled explosion sounded in the air. Yanji waved his palm to meet it. The two of them knew each other's moves very well, so at the beginning, the two were evenly matched. The two of their cultivation were both 5th-level celestial deity. Ape King transformation. After fighting for a while, Yuan Shan let out an angry roar. His body swelled up, and fine hair grew on his skin. He had turned into a giant ape that was 50 meters tall. You actually managed to cultivate the Ape King transformation. Yanji roared in shock. Ha, I told you, you'll never be my match. Yuan Shan laughed out loud and stomped on the ground. With every step he took, the ground cracked and shattered. Boom. Yuan Shan's fist, which was like a small hill, smashed towards Yanji. Yanji roared. His entire body was filled with divine power that was as dark as ink. It turned into several demonic blades and slashed towards Yuan Shan. However, when Yuan Shan's fist landed on the demonic blade, the demonic blade trembled violently and exploded. Defeat, defeat. Yuan Shan continued to roar and continuously swung his fists. Yanji was also going all out. His demonic blade madly slashed, and in an instant, he had slashed out hundreds of blades. However, in the end, Yanji was no match for Yuan Shan. His demonic blade continued to shatter and explode, unable to block Yuan Shan's attack at all. Boom. In the end, Yuan Shan's fist landed on Yanji's body. Yanji cried out in pain and his body flew out like a cannonball. He fell heavily on the ground and spat out a mouthful of blood. Yanji, I told you, you're not my match. Yuan Shan laughed out loud, extremely arrogant. Yanji's expression was extremely ugly. This time, he had lost even more decisively than before. The gap between him and Yuan Shan had widened again. Now, they could only depend on Lu Ming's performance. Kid, come on. Let me see the strength of an outsider. Yuan Shan's gaze was directed at Lu Ming. Make your move. Once I make my move, you won't have the chance to make your move. Lu Ming said indifferently. Although Yuan Shan's strength wasn't bad, he didn't take him seriously. Arrogant. Yuan Shan roared in rage. He stomped his feet and his body was like a small mountain as he pounced towards Lu Ming. His huge fists were thrown out in succession and the violent fist force was pressing down on Lu Ming. Although Yuan Shan said that Lu Ming was arrogant, he went all out when he made his move. He didn't dare to be careless when facing foreign heaven's favorites. Buzz. Lu Ming cast the 9 heavenly Kuan Peng technique. His figure flickered a few times and he dodged Yuan Shan's attack. However, Yuan Shan's movement was also extremely fast. He twisted his body and charged towards Lu Ming again. Lu Ming dodged again. If you have the ability, don't run. Fight me head on. Yuan Shan roared. I'm giving you a chance to use it. Once I make a move, you'll have no chance. Since you're so anxious, I'll fulfill your wish. Lu Ming's calm voice was heard. Chapter 2947 Strange Poisonous Gas. Lu Ming's voice was heard. Then, he took a step forward and his fist shone with the radiance of divine power. A dragon's roar resounded through the 9 heavens. A 9-clawed divine dragon flew out from Lu Ming's palm and pounced towards Yuan Shan. Yuan Shan's pupils contracted sharply as he roared and punched out with both fists like a storm. In an instant he threw hundreds of punches. However, the 9-clawed divine dragon's claw stomped down and his fist prints all collapsed. A dragon claw landed heavily on Yuan Shan's body. Yuan Shan screamed as the 50-meter-tall giant ape flew out and smashed into the city wall of the ape demon city, causing the wall to rumble and shake. Yuan Shan's body also shrunk rapidly, returning to the size of a normal person. He spat out a large mouthful of blood, his eyes filled with shock. Lu Ming was right. Once he made a move, Yuan Shan would not have the chance to make a move. Umph. On the city wall, the city lord of Ape Demon City snorted coldly. Lady Lien, he'll be counting on you from now on. Yuan Shan stabilized his injuries and looked at the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm smiled. She strode over to Lu Ming and said, "This young master's cultivation is really good. I wonder which family you come from? Why should I tell you which family I come from? Don't try to get close to me." Lu Ming pursed his lips. The face of the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm sank. With her looks, if she took the initiative to get close to a man, most men would not reject her. He did not expect Lu Ming to be so boring. "Hee, your cultivation is not bad, but in front of me, you're nothing. Go, kill him." The expression of the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm turned cold. She waved her arm and the small snake wrapped around her arm pounced towards Lu Ming at lightning speed. A long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hands and he thrust it at the small snake. However, the little snake was very agile. It twisted its body and dodged Lu Ming's long spear, then continued to pounce on Lu Ming. CSI. In the process of pouncing, the little snake opened its mouth and sprayed out a thick green mist. Instantly, the space was filled with a disgusting smell. Poison! Poison! Lu Ming's expression changed. The poison of the primeval universe was naturally incomparable to the heaven realm and the primordial realm. It was extremely terrifying. Legend had it that some poisons could instantly poison all the living beings on an entire life planet to death. Quickly retreat. Seeing this, Yuan Shan and the others were shocked and quickly retreated, distancing themselves from the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. Yen Ji and the other young man's faces also changed and they quickly retreated. The thick green poisonous gas spread towards Lu Ming. Break the air, break the air. Lu Ming shook his long spear and thrust it out continuously. The spear's gleam stirred up the air and dispersed the poisonous gas. However, the venomous snake was extremely agile. It flickered continuously and approached Lu Ming. Then he spat out a mouthful of venom like an arrow. This poisonous liquid was formed by the condensation of poisonous gas, and its power was even more terrifying. However, Lu Ming's expression was calm. He waved his hand and divine power surged out, forming a wall of energy. The venom hit the wall of qi and made a sizzling sound, but it didn't break the wall. Chief Sovereign's divine power. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm saw Lu Ming's divine power. She snorted coldly and twisted her snake-like waist, personally charging at Lu Ming. A soft whip appeared in her hand. She waved it like a venomous snake. 6th level heavenly deity? As soon as the woman attacked, Lu Ming could sense her strength. Moreover, the divine energy she cultivated was divine-grade divine energy. The soft whip whistled through the air, its power extremely shocking. Moon-slaying sword, Lu Ming muttered. 10 types of divine powers gathered and struck down, forming a crescent-shaped spear ray that slashed at the soft whip. With it, the soft whip was cut in half, out of Lu Ming's expectations. There was almost no resistance. However, after the soft whip was cut in half, it turned into a thick fog and enveloped Lu Ming entirely. Hee, you've been enveloped by my deity-vanquishing mist. Just wait for your death. The ferocious voice of the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm rang out, filled with killing intent. Lu Ming furrowed his brows. This woman's first move was to kill him. She was extremely ruthless. The mist filled the air and rushed toward Lu Ming as if it had a mind of its own. With a single thought, Lu Ming covered his body with 10 types of divine powers to protect himself from the mist. However, Lu Ming's expression changed. His divine power could not completely block this mist. Wisps of mist seeped into the wall of divine power and into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's body did not have much defense against the mist. This mist did not harm Lu Ming's body at all. It headed straight for Lu Ming's sea of consciousness and rushed toward his soul. Lu Ming's soul let out a sizzling sound, and a sharp pain spread throughout his body. This mist could actually harm the soul. In the primal universe, Most cultivators mainly cultivated divine power. Divine bodies were second, and soul cultivators were the least. Most people believed that as long as Shen power was strong enough, it could destroy everything and destroy the world. No matter how strong your soul is, if I destroy your divine body, your soul will be destroyed as well. What's the point of cultivating your soul then? Therefore, it was the first time that Lu Ming had encountered such a soul-attacking technique in the primeval universe. Boom! Lu Ming controlled his divine energy and it rushed toward the soul, trying to destroy the mist. The divine power collided with the mist, producing a sizzling sound. However, the effect was not as obvious as Lu Ming had imagined. Still not dead. The eyes of the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm widened in surprise. Ordinary third-level celestial deity existences would have their souls obliterated and die in an instant if they were enveloped by this mist. However, Lu Ming seemed to be fine. Of course, she did not know that Lu Ming could control 10 types of divine powers, 2 of which were divine-grade divine powers. The convergence of 10 types of divine powers had more or less offset a part of her mist. Therefore, the mist did hurt Lu Ming, but it was not particularly serious. It was just a little painful. Little poisonous mist, let this old lady absorb it. At this moment, the sound of the measure character rang out. The measure character glowed and a powerful suction force appeared. The mist was absorbed by the measure character in an instant. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm sensed that the mist was being absorbed. Her expression changed and she shouted. The snake then coiled around Lu Ming again. It's time to end this. Lu Ming muttered. 9 ice chains suddenly flew out from his body. The 9 ice chains wrapped around the little snake in an instant. The coldness spread and the little snake was directly frozen into an ice cube. Quickly release Xiao Lu. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm screamed. Let it go? Was that even possible? Since the beginning, you've been trying to kill me. If I don't teach you a lesson, do you think I'm easy to bully? Lu Ming sneered. With a shake of the ice chains, the small snake was crushed into powder. Chapter 2948 Furious. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronym. You killed Xiao Lu, you actually killed Xiao Lu. I want you dead, I want you dead. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm shrieked, her eyes bloodshot. She opened her mouth and mist kept spewing out, shrouding Lu Ming. Lu Ming was shrouded in a cloud of fog. Roar! All of a sudden, dragon roars could be heard from within the mist. Then, 6 9-clawed divine dragons appeared. Each of them was 10,000 meters long. They roared into the sky, and their dragon might filled the air. The 6 9-clawed divine dragons pounced out and unleashed a vast amount of energy. The mist was immediately dispersed in all directions. The Kunpeng's body flashed and Lu Ming appeared in front of the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm was shocked. She quickly retreated and pushed with both hands. A few giant pythons condensed and pounced toward Lu Ming. However, when the 6 9-clawed divine dragons pounced over, the giant python was crushed into pieces. Bang! The 9-clawed divine dragon pounced out and struck the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. The woman let out a blood-curdling screech and followed in Yuan Shan's footsteps. She crashed into the city wall and spat out a large mouthful of blood. It was unknown how many bones in her body were broken. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm was only a 6th-level heavenly deity. Even if she could control divine-grade divine energy, she was only about the same as Qin Wuyo. However, her methods were rather strange and could directly harm the soul. That was why Lu Ming was delayed for some time. Now that the mist was useless against Lu Ming, the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm naturally could not withstand a blow. Kill, die! Lu Ming shouted coldly. The 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma form continued to charge at the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. Since the other party wanted to kill her, Lu Ming would not let him off. No, Ape City Master, save me. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm shouted in fear. Stop! The city lord of the ape demon city shouted and rushed out. With a punch, he destroyed the 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma and saved the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm. 9th-level heavenly deity? Lu Ming muttered. The cultivation of the City Lord of Ape Demon City was 1 level higher than that of General Demon City. However, Lu Ming was fearless and faced him from a distance. Ape City Master, are you trying to break the rules? Yanji roared. According to the rules, the older generation couldn't interfere. Otherwise, the City Lord of the Demon City could go to the Demon Capital to impeach the City Lord of the Ape Demon City. Who said I'm going to break the rules? It's just that the outcome of the battle has already been decided. Why would I need to kill him? The City Lord of Ape Demon City said coldly. Lu Ming sneered but did not continue to attack. He was not afraid of the City Lord of the Demonic Ape City. However, if he were to fight with the City Lord, he was afraid that he would reveal some of his trump cards. In Demonic City, Lu Ming always felt that it was better to keep some of his trump cards. Ape City Lord, we have won this battle. The Spirit Lake should be ours. Yanji shouted. The City Lord's face darkened. Before he could arrive, the Devil General City had actually invited such a powerful heaven's favorite. Even the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm was not her match. Take it. With a cold face, the City Lord of Ape Demon City waved his hand and a token flew to Yanji, who caught it in his hand. Yanji was overjoyed when he saw the token in his hand. With this token, the Spirit Lake would belong to General Devil City. In the future, General Devil City's strength would definitely increase. Let's go! The City Lord of Ape Demon City snorted and turned to walk into the city. The others also turned around and left. Brat kill Xiaolu. Remember this. The woman with the snake wrapped around her arm cast a cold glance at Lu Ming and flew into the city. Brother Lu, it's all thanks to you this time. Yanji came to Lu Ming and thanked him. It doesn't matter, as long as you can help me get into Magic City, it's fine. Lu Ming smiled faintly. That's for sure. Let's go back, Yanji said. Then, the 3 of them headed toward General Demon City. Not long after, in the main hall of the Devil General City. Good. The General Devil City Master looked at the token in his hand and laughed out loud. He had competed with the Ape Demon City for many years and had been suppressed for many years. Now that he had finally won, he was naturally happy. City Lord Yen, where are my friends? Lu Ming said. Hearing this, the City Lord of the Devil General City's expression changed slightly. He smiled and said, Your friends are all cultivating in seclusion. It will take some time for them to come out. Brother Lu, you can stay here for a while. Closed door training? Lu Ming's face darkened and a cold glint flashed in his eyes. The General Devil City Lord was lying. He wouldn't take long to compete with the Ape Devil City. Qiu Yu and the others would never choose to go into seclusion at this time. Moreover, the 3 of them were in closed-door cultivation. City Lord Yen, where are my friends? I want to see them. Lu Ming's voice became more serious. He obviously did not believe the other party. Little brother Lu, they're really in closed-door cultivation? The General Devil City Lord said. Boom. A powerful aura burst out of Lu Ming's body, and a terrifying pressure filled the hall. Yanji's face changed, and he quickly retreated behind the General Devil City's City Lord. The City Lord of General Devil City's face darkened and kept changing. Tell me, where's my friend? Don't try to fool me with the excuse of closed-door cultivation. Lu Ming's voice was heavy, and there was a faint icy killing intent. AI. At this time, the City Lord of the Devil General City suddenly heaved a long sigh and said, That's right. They're not in seclusion. They're no longer in General Devil City. He's not in General Demon City? What do you mean by that? Lu Ming's voice turned even colder. He could barely suppress the anger in his heart. They've been taken away. The General Devil City Lord said. Who is it? Lu Ming asked. Brother Lu Ming, it's better if you don't ask. You can't afford to offend the other party. The General Devil City Lord said. Speak, who is it? Lu Ming shouted. Brother Lu Ming, I think you should just leave. Just treat your friends as dead. The General Devil City Lord said. Boom, boom, boom. His words made the aura on Lu Ming's body become even more violent, like a volcano about to erupt. "Speak!" Lu Ming's voice was icy cold, exuding a cold killing intent. His patience had reached its limit. "Sai, since Brother Lu is so persistent, I'll tell you." The General Demon City Master sighed and took a few steps forward, approaching Lu Ming as if he wanted to tell him something. However, just as the Demon City Master was about to approach Lu Ming, a cold, murderous intent burst out from his eyes. He shouted coldly, "Go to hell." A demonic blade was aimed at Lu Ming's glabella. "You're looking for death." Lu Ming was furious. His divine power erupted like a volcano. At the same time, he activated the battle character formula, which multiplied his combat power by 4. An ice chain flew out from between his eyebrows and blocked the attack of the General Demon City's City Lord. The General Demon City's City Lord retreated quickly after his attack missed. He took Yen Ji and retreated far away. Their divine power gathered in a strange way and formed a huge hand that slammed down on Lu Ming, trying to suppress him. The power of this palm had at least reached 9th level celestial deity. Boom! Lu Ming charged up and activated the battle character formula that increased his combat power by 4 times. A ray of spear radiance pierced through the air and collided with the huge palm print. The palm print shook violently and then shattered. However, this was only the first wave of the enemy's attack. Then, palm prints were formed one after another, pressing down on Lu Ming continuously. Lu Ming kept casting the sky-piercing move. The spear's gleam soared into the sky and destroyed the palm prints. For a time, the two sides were in a stalemate. So strong! The General Devil City's City Lord was shocked. With the power that the Great Fiend Guard Array was releasing now, even an ordinary 9th level celestial deity would be suppressed. However, Lu Ming was not suppressed. This level of combat strength truly shocked him. Activate the Fiend Guard formation's second attack. The General Devil City's City Lord shouted. Instantly, the 3,600 General Demon Guards started to move. They moved in a strange pattern and gathered the divine chi in the heaven and earth into the array, increasing the power of the array. Instantly, Lu Ming was at a disadvantage and the spear's gleam was suppressed. Lu Ming, no matter how strong you are, you will be suppressed by me." The General Devil City's City Lord laughed out loud, extremely excited. The stronger Lu Ming was, the more attention he would receive after he was offered to the Night Demon Lord. The more likely the demonic soul curse on him would be removed. Bang! Bang! The General Demon City's City Master stepped forward and charged at Lu Ming. Runes appeared on his body, forming many runes. These were the Devil's Soul curses. Although the Devil's Soul curse seal was constantly tormenting him, it could also increase his combat power for a short time once he used it. He activated the Devil's Soul curse mark, and the curse mark roared like a devil. At this moment, the General Devil City's City Lord's strength had risen to 9th level celestial deity. Boom! Together with the Fiend Guard formation, he struck out a palm at Lu Ming. "All of you will die." A cold voice came out of Lu Ming's mouth. After he came to Magic City Mountain, he had not revealed all his trump cards so that he could use them at the crucial moment. But now, he had no choice but to use it. A roar came from Lu Ming. This was the roar of an ancient god. Lu Ming's body grew rapidly, turning into a green-armored ancient god that was hundreds of meters tall. The main hall of the City Lord's mansion crumbled in Lu Ming's huge body, sending gravel flying everywhere. What's that? The ancient god body that was hundreds of meters tall stood above the City Lord's mansion. It was hard not to attract attention. Chapter 2950. Leave no one alive. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronym. Block it, block it. The General Devil City's City Lord roared, and the Devil's Soul curse mark on his body burned like a flame. He activated it to the extreme. At this moment, The demon city's city lord's strength was unleashed to the peak, even surpassing ordinary ninth-level celestial deities. He waved his hands and formed two huge palms that blasted upwards in an attempt to block Lu Ming's move. However, after Lu Ming transformed into an ancient god body, his combat strength was so powerful that he could not withstand it. Boom! The spear's radiance slammed heavily on the palm. The palm only managed to block it for a moment before it crumbled with a bang and dissipated into energy. The huge spear light hit the General Devil City's city master heavily. The city lord of General Devil City let out a blood-curdling screech as the ground continued to crack open, revealing a huge spear-shaped mark. The city lord of Jiangmo City was embedded in the ground like a pool of mud. His bones were almost broken, and his body almost exploded. Blood was spurting out. He was already dying from serious injuries. As for Yan Ji, he had already been turned into a pile of flesh under the bombardment of the spear radiance. He was as dead could be. Run, quickly run. Hurry up. The remaining General Fiend guards screamed in fear and fled in all directions. All of you die. Lu Ming shouted. His killing intent was extremely strong. He executed the 9 heavenly Kunpeng technique and chased after the demonic general guards while continuously sweeping out with his long spear. Once the array was broken, these General Fiend guards were completely defenseless in Lu Ming's hands. They exploded one after another. Spare me, spare me! Many General Fiend guards cried out for mercy. However, Lu Ming's eyes were cold and merciless. He continued to attack and reap lives. In less than a moment, Lu Ming had killed all 3,600 General Fiend guards. Not a single one was left. Then, Lu Ming's figure flashed and he landed beside the General Demon City's city master. "Don't kill me, don't kill me," the city lord of General Devil City shouted. At this moment, he had no hatred, only fear. "Tell me, how can I save my friend?" Lu Ming's cold voice was heard. "I don't know. They were taken to Shanghai. I don't know where they'll be taken to." The General Demon City's city lord shouted. "Then go to hell," Lu Ming said coldly. Wait a minute, didn't you want to enter Magic City? Also, if you want to save your friend, you have to enter the Magic City. I have a token here that can allow you to enter the Magic City smoothly. As long as you let me go, I'll give you the token. Jiangmo City's city lord called out. "You don't have the right to negotiate with me. Hand it over." Lu Ming shouted coldly. "No, unless you don't kill me, I will never give it to you," Jiangmo City's city lord shouted. This was his only chance to save his life, so how could he say it out loud? "Let's see if you'll tell me." Lu Ming snorted coldly. He stretched out his hand and pointed. A stream of divine power rushed into the glabella of the General Demon City's city master and rushed toward his soul. "Ah!" The General Devil City's city lord let out a shrill scream. He felt as if his soul was about to be torn apart. "Are you going to hand it over?" Lu Ming asked. "Not handing it over? Come on. This little bit of torture is nothing compared to the torture of the Devil's Soul Curse Seal. If you don't let me go, don't even think about getting the token." The General Devil City Lord roared. He had been tortured by the Devil's Soul Curse Seal all year round, so his endurance was extremely high. This kind of method was ineffective against him. "Hee, do you think I won't be able to get it if you don't hand it over? Your token must be hidden in your storage ring, right?" Lu Ming smiled faintly. The city lord's face turned pale. Lu Ming knew that he had guessed correctly. "Don't!" the General Demon City's city lord shouted, but it was too late. Pucci! A spear light pierced through the city master of General Devil City's glabella, killing him completely. Then, Lu Ming took off the storage ring of the Demon City's city master and searched through it. The next moment, Lu Ming waved his hand and 9 tokens appeared in the air. 9 different tokens. Which kind of token is the one to enter Shanghai? Lu Ming frowned. "Well, no, once we ask someone." Lu Ming gave a self-deprecating smile and grabbed at the air. In the distance, an old man could not help but be grabbed by Lu Ming. "Milord, spare me, spare me." The old man screamed and begged for mercy. He was almost scared to death. At this moment, he was secretly regretful. If he had known, he wouldn't have watched the fun. Which token is needed to enter the Magic City? Lu Ming pointed at the 9 tokens and asked. So that's what he was asking. The old man let out a long sigh of relief and quickly pointed to a golden token. This one. With this token, you can freely enter and exit the Magic City. You can even bring 5 people with you. Alright, get lost. Lu Ming swung his arm and threw the elder far away. Then, Lu Ming put away the 9 tokens and soared into the sky, leaving General Demon City. After Lu Ming left, the Demon City was in chaos. The City Lord's residence was razed to the ground. The Demon City's City Lord and thousands of General Demon Guards were killed. This was a huge matter. One could imagine what kind of waves it would cause. Ape Demon City. The City Lord of Ape Demon City was shocked when he heard the news. Who destroyed the Devil General City? The City Lord of Ape Demon City asked with a look of fear on his face. Chapter 2951 Enemies in Magic City. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronym. How do I find Chiu Yu and the others? Lu Ming frowned and pondered. He found a place to stay and asked around for information. Unfortunately, Lu Ming did not have any clues after a few days. This made him anxious. The longer time passed, the more dangerous it would be for Chiu Yu and the rest. Lu Ming could not wait to kill his way to the residence of the City Lord of Magic City. However, there were many experts in the City Lord's mansion of Demonic City. There were probably many existences close to the Divine King realm. Moreover, there was also the Night Devil King, a true Divine King. The difference between a celestial god and a Divine King was huge. Given Lu Ming's current cultivation base, he would most likely die if he encountered a Divine King. This matter could only be considered at length. However, a few days later, Lu Ming heard a piece of news that made his eyes light up. Not long after, the Great Demonic City War would be held in Demonic City. This was the second time that Lu Ming had heard the term Great Battle of Magic City. The first time he heard it was when Yanji asked him when he met him. At that time, Lu Ming did not pay much attention to it and did not understand it in detail. This time, Lu Ming had a detailed understanding of it. The Great Battle of Demonic City was a competition between the younger generation of Demonic City Mountain, and it was personally organized by the Night Demon King. In the past, it was a method for the Night Demon Lord to select talents. However, this time's Demonic City War was different. This time, it was because the Night Demon King had a daughter who had unparalleled talent. She was young, but her battle power was shockingly high. Moreover, she was also a country-toppling beauty. Therefore, this time, the Night Demon King spread the news that the Demonic City War would be open to the public. The Heaven's favorites from outside of Magic City Mountain can also participate. As long as they were in the top 10, they would be rewarded with 500 grams of Demon Night Spring. This was a great temptation. This was because the Demon Night Spring had a great nourishing effect on a cultivator's soul. Long-term use would make the soul stronger and more condensed. The spiritual consciousness would also become stronger. Unfortunately, the production of the Demon Night Spring was very little. On average, it could only produce 1 gene every 100 years. The supply was in short supply. Getting into the top 10 and being rewarded with a gene of Demon Night Spring was a great temptation. Not only were the Heaven's favorites from Magic City Mountain rubbing their hands in anticipation, even the Heaven's favorites from outside Magic City Mountain rushed over after hearing the news. No wonder I met that woman. Chapter 2952 Fighting on the Stage. Please continue reading on Oxville. Omicronym. Wu Shui sneered, then looked at Lu Ming and said, "Kid, you're lucky now. You're here to participate in the Great Battle of Shanghai, right? Very well, I hope you don't meet me in the Great Battle of Demonic City. Otherwise, it'll make you die a miserable death. Junior sister, let's go." After leaving these words, the witch blood and the woman with the snake wrapped around her arm left the place. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Good luck? Who was the lucky one? Lu Ming turned around and left the place. In the next few days, nothing much happened. However, the number of foreign heavens favorites in Demonic City increased. Many of these foreign heavens favorites had grudges against each other, so it was inevitable that they would clash with each other. Hence, during this period of time, the Shanghai guards had increased their patrols. As for Lu Ming, he still did not have a single clue about Qiu Yu, Wu Zifeng and Yu Linglong. He was in a bad mood. Finally, the time for the great battle in Demonic City had arrived. On this day, a huge open space outside the city lord's mansion in Shanghai was filled with people. Many people in Shanghai had come to watch. The empty space was surrounded by magic city guards in iron armor. The city lord has arrived. A shout was heard. Then a group of people flew out. The leader was a burly man in a black demon robe. This man's aura was extraordinary, and a king's chi faintly emanated from him. With a single glance, one could tell that he was a god king. This man was the lord of Demonic City, the Night Demon King. Beside the Night Demon Lord was a young woman. This woman looked to be in her 20s. Her figure was extremely good, revealing her slender and alluring figure. Her figure was perfect, so explosive and captivating. What a beautiful woman, what an alluring woman. Is this girl the daughter of the Night Demon King? When many men saw this woman, their eyes burned with passion and anger. I heard that in this Demonic City war, as long as you defeat the Night Demon King's woman and win first place, you will be able to date her and even have the chance to become her son-in-law. How can I miss out on such a beautiful woman? I want first place. The first place is mine. In the crowd, many foreign heavens favorites had fiery eyes and were rubbing their fists, wanting to get first place. Everyone, quiet down. The Night Demon King stood high in the air and waved his hand, causing the entire place to fall silent. I am Dark Night Sky. Night Demon Lord introduced himself. Night Sky was his name. This is my woman, Night Rose. The Night Demon Lord introduced the enchanting woman beside him. Everyone nodded. The enchanting woman was indeed the daughter of the Night Devil King.